It's the Happy Families Podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
Hello, it's Dr. Justin Coulson with Kylie, my wife and mum to our 6 daughters. I'm the co-host and parenting expert on Channel 9's Parental Guidance. Season 2 is coming soon. And today we are going to do a lightning round called Beach Days. Why? Well, we live near the beach. We love the beach. We can't get enough of the beach. We've got a lot of experience taking our kids to the beach. It's the middle of summer here in Australia, and summer holidays means everyone's got to go to the beach at least once. But we want you to do it safely. We want you to do it well. We want you to have a great time doing it. Just recently we had the wonderful Dr. Anthony Rhodes from the Royal Children's Health Poll talking about water safety and the devastation that occurs when children slip into the water silently and disappear from adult view. We want to make sure that people are safe. So Kylie, here's how it's going to go. We've got about 4.5 minutes to run through as many tips for parents when they're taking the kids to the beach as possible to make it as wonderfully, fabulously super as possible, but also as safe as possible. I've got a huge list of things because I love taking the kids to the beach. I think that I'm the pro in the family with this, but I reckon you're going to have a few things to add. You're looking at me like you don't believe me.
I can't wait to hear your list.
Okay, number 1, leave early so you can leave early. What I mean by that is if you don't live near the beach, which has been our experience for a long, long time, when you go to the beach and you leave at like 9 o'clock in the morning, like everybody else, you sit in traffic forever as you're trying to get to the coast, and then you get there and there's nowhere to park, and then you get onto the beach and it's hot and the sand's sticky and horrible and it's absolutely packed, and it's just not a very pleasant day, which is why people don't like going to the beach. Plus the wind is up, the wind is horrible at the beach. My number 1 tip is leave early. Like, get to the beach around, I don't know, as early as you possibly can. I'm going to say 7, but some people might think that that's just rude.
Well, in Queensland, I don't think it is at all.
No. But the whole idea is get there early. When you get there early, you get a park, but you also miss the heat of the sun.
Yeah, but you also pretty much have the beach to yourself.
Pretty much.
So when you're dealing with young children, it's so much easier to supervise them when you're not having to share the beach with a bajillion other people.
100%. And then you can also leave early, which means you can jump back in the car at about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, whatever it is, when everyone else is arriving after they've just sat in traffic for 2 hours to get there. And you're like, oh, we've had a full day. The kids are absolutely zonked, whether they're 2 or 12 or even in their late teens. They're like, that was great. And you can kind of breathe easy. You've already had a great day. Get home in time for lunch. You're not spending a fortune on food at the beach. It just works early. So my number 1 tip, leave early so you can leave early. Not that you want to leave, but if you're going to go, get there early so you can enjoy it at its best, and then you can come home early before it's not as nice. That's really what it is. Number 2.
When our kids were young, my number 1 love for the beach was swimming caps. Bright coloured swimming caps for the kids. I could see them from a mile away and I knew exactly where they were at all times.
Same with the bright rashies, right? So brilliant idea.
Well, togs they actually don't stand out as much as you think they will.
No, but the rashies, like if you get a really glaringly glary one, they can. But the swimming caps.
And this only really works obviously for young children because as soon as kids work out that no one else is wearing them, it's harder to convince them to wear them. But it made
that's when you need to supervise them the most.
A difference.
Okay, my next tip, cool cabanas.
You can't take mine.
Not sponsored, but seriously, instead of those beach umbrellas that blow away and instead of the cabanas that are really, or the...
this is literally the best beach investment we've made.
Yep. The smaller ones are like $150, $200. The big ones are obviously a little bit dearer, but these things they're the world's easiest things to put up. They give you fabulous shade. I love them, and I reckon that if you're going to go to the beach, you want one. And
it's literally a 2-minute setup. Yeah. It is so fast to set up. The kids could set it up on their own pretty much. Yep. It's so easy to do. And the coverage is what I actually love the most. There is always a full square, no matter where you are.
Depending on the angle of the sun.
Well, no, you might not be sitting under it. You might be away from it, but you've always got that solid square of shade.
Which brings me to my next one, which is rash shirts, sunscreen. Like the Australian sun is horrendously bad. A couple of times this summer I've been burnt because I've only been outside for 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes and haven't covered up properly.
Well, you can tell that we're actually out of practice because we haven't lived near the beach for so long because you don't usually get burnt. No. But you've come home a number of times and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, my bottom lip fell off because it got sunburnt. I know. Didn't get kissed for a week and a half. It was horrible. My next one, flags.
Excuse me. Hello?
Flags and supervision. Hello? Flags and supervision. Like, just don't turn your back on your kids. Don't leave it to the lifeguards. Please watch your kids and make sure that they're swimming in between those flags. Absolutely critical from a safety point of view. Just has to be done. Okay, sorry, I went, but it's your turn now. You're
going to let me talk now.
I still got a few more. Can I do my next one?
No.
Okay, when you're ready. We've got to do this quickly.
My next one is quick
already.
dry towels.
Oh, good one.
Not necessarily any brand in particular, but just when I have 6 children that I'm dragging along to the beach and they all have their big fluffy towels, that's a huge amount of stuff I've got to carry.
When we were stuck in Queensland because of COVID restrictions a couple of years ago, we booked a holiday when we could finally travel again and went to the Whitsundays for 4 or 5 days. And we forgot our towels. The only place we could find towels was in one of those chemists at Airlie Beach, and they had those quick dry towels. Since then, you've kept them in the car. They get used all the time. They're such a brilliant purchase.
They take up less space. So the 7 towels I have take up less space than one fluffy towel takes up.
Yeah.
And like you said, I just keep them in the car and they're perfect.
Brilliant.
I'm going to keep you warm.
Okay, I'm going to go with my next one. Take water and maybe even a few treats, especially if you've got to travel. It costs a fortune when you have to stop, and no one wants to stop. You don't have to stop at a supermarket on the way to the beach. Make sure you've got some stuff in the car, some fruit, some water, some nuts, maybe even a less healthy snack as well, depending on how your family rolls. And it just makes the trip more enjoyable. Choose a great playlist that everyone can agree on, and just get to the beach with that water, because you will want it once you're there.
And my last one is go with friends.
Oh, I had that on my list as well.
Fun. More fun if you've got someone to go with. Take a frisbee, take a cricket ball and bat if you want.
Accessorise.
Yeah, just it's always more fun, and it requires less brain power from you as a parent if there's other people there. We
bought a volleyball and a soccer ball for the same purpose. Down at the beach, the kids love to kick and throw and hit those balls around, and it's just great. I've got 3 more really quickly. We're out of time, so I'm going to do it very fast. You're looking at me like, I told you.
Our 5-minute podcast is now...
we're at about 7.5 minutes, but don't give me a hard time about it. It's worth it.
What are your last 3?
Boogie boards or surfboards. Just even with the little kids, take them. But as a follow-up to that, part B of that is don't push your kids into situations where they're going to be scared in the waves. You can push boundaries later when they're older and they understand how the ocean works a bit more. But having those boards, having the floaties, having something to catch waves on is such a thrill for kids. It's so much fun. And my last one is, if you can, pay for surfing lessons. Go to a beach where there's a little surf school, pay the small amount of money that it'll cost for those surfing lessons. The kids will become more familiar with the ocean. They'll get a real thrill out of riding those great big surfboards. You'll have somebody experienced to guide you. And I just think they're a great way for kids to enjoy the beach and take the pressure off you a little bit as well.
And learn to read the ocean.
Yeah, maybe not on surf lesson number 1, but over time. Yeah, a lot of fun. We hope that those beach tips are fun for your beach days as we make our way through summer. Thanks so much for listening to the Happy Families podcast. Back tomorrow with some road trip tips on the Happy Families podcast summer series.